Welcome to Module 10 of the Last Mile Distribution Playbook, Financial Model and Viability. This general video is the first of two videos in Module 10. The second video is a tutorial on using the Microsoft Excel tool accompanying this module. So in this video, we have two presenters. My name is Neil, and you'll also be hearing from Greg. In this module, you will define your vision of your enterprise's financial viability, learn how to inform key business decisions using a numerical what-if analysis tool that incorporates elements from all other playbook modules. You'll focus on how key variables affect profitability of LMD enterprises, including timing of financing to customers and from suppliers. And lastly, stitch all previous modules into a what-if model of your enterprise using your own estimates. Find out how much capital you'll need and what adjustments you need to make this to succeed. So here's the visual introduction. The what-if analysis tool helps you to translate ideas from all the other modules of this playbook into a common language where you can see how these ideas relate to each other. This common language is numbers. We're not training you to be accountants here, but to make this better business decisions in an informed way. On the left, you see inputs. These are estimates of revenue, cost, and other key numbers. A good what-if analysis tool, even if basic, will account for the most important factors affecting the financial situation of the particular enterprise being examined. And on the right, you see that the what-if analysis tool takes your inputs and uses these estimates to show you the implications of your estimates. This tool will help you determine things like how will your bottom line be affected if you increase sales, hire more staff, or offer your customer financing? And how much cash do you need to raise for the next year? So this module builds off nearly all other modules in some way. Originators underscore to us how tricky it can be to balance financing you offer to customers with financing offered to you by suppliers. We'll show you why and equip you with knowledge to outpace your competitors. And some entrepreneurs think they can leave numbers to others. Don't make that mistake. You need people skills and analytical skills to succeed. So what sort of financial viability do you intend to pursue for your enterprise? LMD enterprises range from nearly fully grant-funded to fully commercial. Many of them are in the middle. When working with this slide in the deliverables deck, mark where your enterprise falls on this spectrum and then describe what you mean. In the middle ground are entrepreneurs that are seeking profitable agents, branches, or regions, but they sustain overall enterprises with grants or loans. So for example, you might get grant funding for sales agent training in your enterprise. But many of them have the potential of breaking even at large scale. Now I'm going to hand it over to Greg to talk about the key resources of this module.
Thank you, Neil. The main resource that we are providing you in this module is Figure 10.1, a what-if analysis tool for a last-mile distribution enterprise. We've built this tool so that it contains categories of revenue and expense for last-mile distribution enterprises, so that it allows you to easily experiment with the most critical factors that can make or break LMD enterprises, and so that it allows you to ask what-if questions about a single year or up to 3 years. Components of the what-if analysis tool include an income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement, the products template, the same one that you saw in Module 6, and a worksheet leading you through pay-go considerations for those of you offering pay-go to customers. We'll start here with the income statement, which is a good entry point into the tool. An income statement shows a company's revenues and expenses during a particular period of time, for example, a year. It shows whether the company made or lost money during the period being reported. Another name for an income statement is a profit or loss statement, or a P&L. This income statement is in US dollars and shows sales of $500,000, which cost the company $350,000 to buy in the first place. This is called the cost of goods sold. This leaves $150,000 left over as the gross margin, which can also be expressed as a percentage like you see here, 30%. Generally speaking, the last mile distribution originators that we've interviewed are targeting a gross margin of somewhere between 25 and 40%. This differs by product, of course, but as a rule of thumb, we suggest targeting between 30 and 40% gross margin for your portfolio of products. Most last mile distribution enterprises incur expenses like those in this list: sales commissions paid to agents, marketing expenses, and so forth. Now, the profit of an enterprise is determined by subtracting the expenses of the enterprise from the revenue of the enterprise. The income statement shows that for the company portrayed here, the profit for the year is negative $47,000. This means that the company is losing money. Uh-oh, what will happen? Will the company go out of business? You might conceivably plan to lose money each year for a few years while you progress steadily towards profitability, but in the end, you don't want the situation portrayed here to happen to you. What can you do to fix this? Well, very simply stated, you can pull 3 levers to increase your enterprise's profitability. You can increase sales, increase margins, or decrease costs. Now, in real life, such increases or decreases have real implications. For example, if you want to decrease your costs by reducing office rent, you might need to find a new office, negotiate with a new landlord, move your desks and computers, and so forth. The what-if analysis tool enables you to try out various ways of pulling these levers to improve your profitability without having to carry out all these real-life implications. So let's see how it works. Okay, back to the income statement. We've added a column where we can type in adjustments to our initial estimates and a second column reflecting those adjustments. So now we can see 2 cases side by side, which can be useful. This is a first example of what we mean by a what-if analysis. What if we made some changes to this unprofitable last mile distribution enterprise? Could it become profitable? Let's make 3 specific changes by entering numbers in the blue boxes. When you make your own estimates as part of the work you'll do in this module, you'll be typing them into blue boxes on a Microsoft Excel sheet that looks just like this. So first, here we'll increase the sales by 20% from $500,000 to $600,000. Second, we'll increase the cost of goods sold by only 15%, which effectively means that the gross margin has improved from 30 to 33%. Third, we'll change some expenses, some higher, some lower. The details don't matter here, but the point is that the total expenses are a little bit lower, $191,000 instead of $197,000. The result? The company that was losing $47,000 in the course of the year portrayed here is now breaking even, in fact, generating a small profit of $5,600 over the course of the year. Hooray! So, we just introduced one component of the what-if analysis tool, the income statement, otherwise known as a profit and loss statement, and showed you how you can use the what-if analysis tool to explore key variables affecting the profitability of your enterprise. Don't stop with the income statement. Many early-stage entrepreneurs would stop here, producing an income statement portraying last year's performance of their company, or to make a budget for next year. By contrast, our presentation does not stop here. This is because an income statement alone, while valuable, is insufficient to cover some of the most critical factors affecting the financial viability of last-mile distribution enterprises. For example, originators underscore the importance and the potential source of problems in balancing the financing you offer to customers with the financing offered to you by suppliers. This can be a matter of life or death for a last mile distribution enterprise, and an income statement alone doesn't help with this sort of timing issue. So, to cover timing issues and other critical factors affecting the viability of last mile distribution enterprises, we've made a separate video also included in Module 10 showing you how to use the what-if analysis tool to answer critical questions facing last mile distribution enterprises. For example, how much money do I need to raise to fund my enterprise? And what if my enterprise offers pay-go products to customers? What are the financial implications? So, please watch the separate video tutorial on the what-if analysis tool to answer these sorts of questions and to help you prepare the deliverables of this module. Back over to you, Neil.
Thanks, Greg. So once you've watched that separate Excel tutorial video, estimate the following for the next year of your enterprise and plug those numbers in the what-if analysis. So things like sales, your cost of goods sold, expenses, etc. And the roadmap outputs. We've made it easy for you to ask important what-if questions about your enterprise. Just type your year one estimates into the blue boxes of the what-if analysis tool we provided and away you go. This tool will generate a simple financial model of your enterprise. Then play around with your blue box estimates to familiarize yourself with what happens when you change your estimates. Ask your mentor for feedback on ideas, such as the main factors you'll need to keep an eye on as you launch and operate your enterprise, and the adjustments to bring your enterprise to profitability, and also how much capital you'll need. And the go do it for this module is to consider your financial model a work of progress and seek feedback from your mentor as you refute, refine, and validate the estimates and assumptions you're inputting into the what-if analysis tool. And as you learn more, you might want to make estimates for year 2 and year 3. And here's a tip. Just as some entrepreneurs find that they need to be more social than they might naturally be, you might find you need to spend some time becoming proficient at looking at an income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. These are all included in the what-if analysis tool. Commit yourself to the discipline of both the networking heavy roles and the analytically heavy roles of being a social entrepreneur. We've also provided some extra resources here. For a more detailed take on financial modeling for social enterprises, consider taking this Plus Acumen course on financial modeling. And we've also included a World Bank indicators report on pay-go portfolio performance. So finally, revisiting related modules. When you put the financial pieces together, the functions of your enterprise you'll perform from Module 3 and the products you choose in Module 6 and the personnel in Module 8. Do the pieces fit financially into a whole picture that is profitable? And we also included this slide for those using PayGo. If you are using PayGo, take a look at these tips in the revisiting past modules. And this concludes Module 10 of the Last Mile Distribution Playbook, Financial Model, and Viability. Thank you.